So YouTube, it's me again. If you saw a previous video, I was talking to you a little bit about this Menace audio voice bar that I was actually able to find on Facebook Marketplace. If you look on a lot of forums, especially with the C5 convertibles, the rears, I showed you in a previous video, I took out the 5.25 Bose. I mean, they were terrible, even with an aftermarket head unit. So I decided to upgrade the four-way, 5.25 four-way speakers in the back that are tied directly to my Menace Audio 900 watt 2-channel amplifier. And then you see the 2.0 Farad cap. The sound was good, but I wanted a little bit more sound in conjunction with a 15-inch or 12-inch sub that I have in the back that's 800 watts. The bass hits hard, and I felt like outside of the front door speakers, my highs weren't as nice as I wanted them to be. So I looked online, and again, I saw this voice box that I did in a previous video. I purchased it with all the speakers blown. When I talked to the owner, he said he overamped them and actually burned through the super tweet. Now, this is my first time working with super tweeters. A lot of you may have previous experience. I've had previous experience with sound systems, but not to the level of where I can tell you 4 ohms or decibels or hertz. But this was just a little experiment. When I initially hooked this up, it wasn't working. In fact, it was shorting out my amp. It kept going into protect mode. So I took everything apart and I'm like, what am I not doing? I'm not getting any sound out of these super tweets. These are brand new Duval two-way 300 watt speakers. I wasn't getting any sound out of them. And so what I wound up finding is that I needed a crossover. So that's kind of what this video is for. If you're going to go the super tweet route, or if you're going to go mid-range, you can't do it without this crossover. So this is an audio pipe CRX 203. I actually got this on Amazon for a really good price. Paid 11 bucks for it. And the other part of this, you want to make sure that it's bridged. So I bridged it from my Menace Audio amp out to your end. This is actually subwoofer, and this is going to be for my tweeters. So that's why you have the W for woofer. This is for tweeters. So essentially what I decided to do is the woofer port is actually going to these Duvals, which actually sound really nice. And I'm excited because now I can put the box back together, because guess what? I got some crystal clear sound out of these super tweets. Now, a lot of forums, I looked for information about these super tweets, about how to wire. With this setup, I couldn't wire a tweeter to the mid-range. I actually had to wire both mid-ranges together, and I'm going to wire both tweeters together because that's how this crossover is set up. So again, it's really easy. I paid $11 and maybe 25 cents for that audio pipe crossover. And the sound that you get out of a super tweeter, my high problem with this C5 Corvette, to me, has been solved. Again, the reason why I went with this voice bar is because of how small it was. With the top down, from the rear to the top, you have about 6 inches. This takes about 4.5. A new voice bar, I believe, on Amazon is close to $200. I paid $30 essentially for the box. I bought the super tweeters for $19.99. And believe it or not, for these Duval speakers, I paid $4.99, and these are shock. And these Duval speakers are actually put together really well. So I'm not really sure as to why I was able to get them so cheap. When I got the box, it looked like maybe they had been sitting in the warehouse for years. I'm not sure. The only issue that I found with these Duvals is that grill, it doesn't stay in. So what I decided to do was put a little bit of Gorilla Glue clear and just put a little weight on it, let it sit for a day. It's still easy to take the grill off if I have to, but I don't have to worry about it shifting. But I will say I had never heard of this brand, but they are put together really well. You can see the Super Tweeter comes with its own cap, and the Duvals actually also came with their own cap. So again, if you're thinking about setting something up like this with the Super Tweeter, number one rule, all the forums say you want to solder. So I actually had to solder the cap. They said that's the best connection you can get. But 2, it won't work without a crossover. And 3, I do have like a 300 watt amp, because in my mind I'm thinking, okay, this is a Super Tweeter. No, the 900 watt hits that just the way it should. So they can handle some power, especially if you have it bridged with the crossover. So until I make another video, you know, I appreciate everyone. Again, anytime I find out any information, you know, I try to put that information out there for everyone to understand. All you car owners, you know, I'm a car guy, I love cars, and I appreciate your comments, and we can, you know, work on all this stuff together. Till next time.